my booch and my cat. Come here, Smeagol. Hi. Hi. Hi guys, my name is Amber. I am the fairly local vegan. The cat right here is Smeagol. Smeagol is a Sphinx cat. We rescue a bunch of cats, and so we have a bunch of rescued Sphinx cats and one regular furry cat. This is my channel. I talk about veganism, parenting, being an epic parent, minimalism, a bunch of really cool stuff, so stick around. Today I'm going to be talking about, I guess, what people really want to know about me and about our family and about what we do, and I'm really sorry for Smeagol's sounds of sucking his tail. Maybe you'll like it! I got in a bunch of questions on Instagram over the last few weeks, so I figured I'd just take the best ones, or the ones I get asked a lot, and make a kind of Q&A sort of video. So here's my Q&A video. What kind of cats do you have, and do they eat vegan? We have 3 Sphinx cats. They're rescues. We have a Smeagol, who is, I think he's 3.5 years old now, and he was our first Sphinx cat. He is my cat. He is very, very attached to me. And I know this is gonna sound crazy, but I kind of believe we were friends in a past life, and he's like my past life best friend, or maybe like one of the past lives. Couldn't be like the last past life. It could be whenever. But he was like a friend of mine at some point, and I feel very, very connected to him. And there's nothing I wouldn't do for him. We a couple of years ago, I think about it, actually, was it a year ago? A year and a half ago, he got very, very sick, and we weren't sure if he was gonna make it, and it cost me $900 in vet bills to save his life. And yeah, he's still with me, and I love him, and he's my favorite cat. And then we have Smog, who is kind of dumb. I don't want to say he's dumb, but he's kind of dumb. He's just not. He used to fall off. He would like walk down our stairs, because we used to have like a floor above us where we lived before. And he would he would like to walk between the banisters, like around them as he walked down, and he would like to fall off the stairs. And it wasn't a hard fall. We had carpets and stuff, and he always fell into a pile of coats. But it was like, the cat who can't, I don't know, is pretty dumb to do that. I don't know. I don't want to be mean about it. I love him so much, and his name is Smog. So of course we have a Lord of the Rings theme kind of going on. Our next cat is Siren. She is about 5 years old, and she was a rescue from a really abusive situation. The family that had her were not taking care of her the way you should take care of a Sphinx cat. She has never been bathed. She is very, very kind of skittish. It took her a long time to warm up to us, and she still pees on everything. So they all sleep together in a pile these days, but she's a hard rescue, but we love her so much, and this is her forever home, so we'll have her regardless of whether she pees on everything or not. And just gonna put this out there, I want to say, because I've seen it a lot on the internet for some reason, a lot of people want to rehome their cats because they pee on stuff. Rehoming your cat is not going to get rid of their peeing problem. They're just gonna pee on someone else's stuff, and they won't want the cat maybe. I think people should just deal with it. Like, you can try to enzyme treat places like we have, and like do the best you can, but there's really not a whole lot most of the time that you can do. Like check into medical issues, because your cat might have a yeast infection or a tract infection of some sort, or not be feeling well. It could be territorial issues. It could be that your litter isn't being cleaned regularly enough. It could be what they're eating. It could be diet related. It could be a lot of things. But after you remove all those things and decide, like cross them off your list and decide which ones are, you know, causing the problem, which aren't, it could just be that the cat does that regardless of certain situations. So in this case, Siren is perfectly healthy. It's just what she does, and we really suspect that that's what she used to do before, because she just does it. She especially likes to pee on my clothing and anything left in the bathroom and anything the kids play with in the living room that's like fabric. But she won't pee on beds, and she won't pee on bean bags, and she won't pee in other areas of the house. So it's really interesting that she does it, and we think it's just her and part of her personality. So just gonna put it out there, don't rehome your cat. If it's peeing on things, just clean it up and keep things off the floor. I mean, at the end of the day, is it really worth giving away a cat to rehome it again and it not having a great life? I don't think so. So we're just gonna deal with it, and that's Siren. We spell it Sigrhen, and Smog we spell Smawg, just to change it up. And Smeagol we spell Smeagol, so regular Smeagol from Lord of the Rings. Siren is not from Lord of the Rings. It's just we wanted a pretty name, and we didn't want to name her after, I think it's Shelob the spider, because it's not a nice cat name. It's a spider name, and it was the only, we didn't want to name her Samwise or anything like that. So that's her name. And lastly, we have Shadowfax. And Shadowfax is our furry kitten who we rescued, and we think she's a Maine Coon. We don't know. When we got her, she was about 6 or 8 weeks old, and she just sucked on things, so I spent a lot of time carrying her around. And she's growing up nicely. Maybe I should go find her for this video, or maybe I'll just make a cat video in the future where I introduce all the cats at once. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe stay tuned for a cat video where I introduce all our cats, I guess. Hi, Smeagol. And yeah, that is our cat family. And someone wanted to know, do they eat vegan? No, my cats do not eat vegan. That said, we have sort of looked into vegan food options. We really do not like supporting the meat industry at all, and buying dog food or cat food does support the meat industry if you're buying like dog food that's made out of meat and stuff, and those animals are probably treated the same way as in farms or whatever, or factories, and I don't want to support that, and we don't want to support that. That said, cats don't have a choice whether they are carnivores or not. They are carnivores. I don't know exactly how to get around that. I have seen some dogs and some cats do really, really well on vegan diets, like because everything is included in the food they're eating. And I've looked into some of the food, but at the moment I am not convinced that a vegan diet would be the best thing for our cats, especially since we feed our cats the top of the line food we can buy. So we buy, I think it's called Acana, and we have also bought Boreal, something like that. Anyway, we've bought both of those. Right now they're on Acana, and Smeagol used to be very, very skinny, and right now he is looking quite plump, and he hasn't been as sick as he usually is. Sometimes he gets very, very sick, hence the $900 vet bills. And so I'm kind of reluctant to change their food at the moment, just because Smeagol's health is the best it's ever been. That said, if his health does change, maybe I would look into putting them on a vegan diet, but again, I'd have to really research it, especially since cats, I believe, are pretty much carnivores. Besides eating grass once in a while outside, I don't think they eat much else that's plant matter. And I really don't think that, come here. Oh, come here, come to mommy. Oh, someone's a bit farty today and really stinky. But Daddy just gave him a bath, so why are you just farty? Are you just gonna fart on me? Are you just gonna fart on me? Okay, all right, so getting back to what I was saying, I'm just not convinced right now that putting them on a vegan diet is the best thing for them, considering Smeagol is so healthy. If you do have any information about putting a cat on a vegan diet, I would love to read more. Or if your cat has been on a vegan diet, please leave a comment in the comments section below and tell me about your experience, and tell me about what food you're giving them and how your cat has been thriving and how long they've been on it. I'm really interested in it. I just don't want to do it at the moment because of Smeagol's health. And yeah, I don't know if it's really the thing to do, because cats are mainly carnivores. People, on the other hand, are omnivores. We can choose whether to eat plant based and vegan or meat. And so with people we get a choice, but with animals we don't really get a choice. And if it comes down to it, if you really want to argue about being vegan and stuff, is keeping pets really vegan? Not really. Is saving animals vegan because of the overpopulation in shelters and like how people abuse animals? Yes. So we are just doing, anyone who wants to argue with all this, we are just doing the best we can as people. We are trying to help animals. We decided to save these cats. We are treating them the best we possibly can in terms of the information we have and what they eat. So that's all I have to say about it at the moment. Ooh, a fight. I hope you hear this. Oh, what do you think? That's Siren. Siren not happy. Where do you get your mesh produce bags? So if we did a video a little while back, I think about, I don't know, 5 or 6 months ago, I guess now, where we went to our local farmer's market and we used mesh produce bags. We got them off Amazon.ca. You can get them off Amazon.com. They're relatively cheap and they are fantastic and they really, really hold up. And we actually use 2 in our bathtub to hold bath toys because then they can just strain out if you hook them around your taps. So there's a tip for you. Mom tipping. How are your eyes now after having LASIK? So I also did a LASIK video in the spring. I got my eyes done in May or June. And I think it was at the end of May. And it was a really nerve-wracking experience because you have to lie there and they didn't really walk me through exactly what would happen, and they didn't offer me any anxiety medication, and I have anxiety, and especially in this situation is really, really freaky. It took all of my being to hold myself down and not just like freak out completely. And my eyes are amazing. They corrected the astigmatism I had 100%. I have no astigmatism anymore. Things don't move, so it's not as bad. My vision is pretty much 100% as well, so they corrected that 100% at the moment. That said, it is like my eyes are quite, they used to be quite bad. So with the astigmatism and I don't remember what exactly, if I'm nearsighted or farsighted. I can't see things further away. Everything gets fuzzy. And so I don't deal with that now. My eyes are perfect. That said, my eyes will continually get worse. So 5 years from now, I'll probably have to go back and get LASIK and then have to go back and get LASIK again until I decide that it's not worth it anymore. I have 100% coverage as long as I go back and get my eyes checked every year or something like that, so that they can check them. So I have the guarantee to correct them for life. So I have the lifetime guarantee. That's what it's called, lifetime guarantee on my eyes, so I can correct them for ever long as they do LASIK for. And that said, will I have glasses in the future? I don't know. I don't think so. I probably won't get, it's worth it more to me to not wear glasses. I feel like this is what I look like. I wore glasses for 3 years, finally realizing I needed to wear glasses because my vision and my headaches were just too much. But I feel like me without glasses and they're not in the way, and to me it's worth it. So I'll probably keep LASIKing my eyes. But yeah, my eyes are amazing. Thank you so much for asking how they are. Do you plan on having more kids? That is a touchy one. We are currently up in the air whether we want more kids or not. I don't want kids at the moment, like want more kids. I have kids. I don't want more kids at the moment. I'm still co-sleeping and I'm still breastfeeding. Indy takes up pretty much all my attention. So I really don't, I'm really not in a baby making mood right now at all. He is like, I think he's about to turn 16 months old. Oh, time goes by so quick. Yeah, he's about to be 16 months old and I'm just not not really sure. I gave away most of our baby clothes. I have 2 tubs, like Tupperware, like big bins down in our basement of maternity and baby clothes that I really liked, but there's not a lot of them, and I just kept those just in case. That said, I do not want kids after 30. I have never wanted kids after 30. That's just me. I'm just not interested in that. I want to move on and show our kids the world at some point, and after 30 is kind of like, I've always been adamant about it despite my husband not liking it. I just do not want kids after 30. We will see. It sometimes does feel like something is missing from or someone is missing from our family. We have a lot of, it's a hard decision. It's a really hard decision because my daughter is not Joseph's biological daughter. She's my biological daughter, but he is Selkie's, my daughter's daddy, because he met me when she was a year old. And so she's grown up knowing that he is her dad. But that said, she goes away a lot, and India's left alone because she goes to see her biological father. And we wonder about the effects that might have on Indy. I have 3 older brothers who are technically, I guess, my half brothers, and they went away a lot as a kid, and that really upset me when I was a kid because I loved my brothers so much. So it's a really hard decision. It's a tough decision. We don't know what we're gonna do yet. If you have 3 kids, let me know down in the comments how, I don't know, the transition between 2 to 3 kids was. Let me know what you think. It's also really hard for me to deal with knowing as a vegan that there's an overpopulation issue. That said, I know several vegans who have 3 kids or up, and they say things like, oh, our kids will always be vegan and things like that. And yes, most likely your kids will always be vegan if they're raised in the mindset that you shouldn't eat other living beings. But it does contribute to an overpopulation issue. So it's really hard. It's a really hard decision. I haven't made it yet. Neither has Joseph. We kind of have to come to consensus about it. I think I'm more against and he's more pro at the moment. But that said, like, it's up to both of us, and we'll get to a decision at some point before I'm 30. We have a little while. Not very long, but a little while. So we'll see. Do you get nervous breastfeeding in public? I have been stared at by creepy old men, and people with me have been more uncomfortable with me breastfeeding and watching people stare at me than me caring that people are staring at me, because usually I am busy breastfeeding the baby or my baby, Indy, than worrying about what people are thinking of me. So my attention is more on get my baby fed and happy than worry about old men staring at me and being traumatized or being like, I don't know what's wrong with people. Breastfeeding in public is totally fine in my books. It is legal in Canada. It's actually a human right. So yeah, go out and breastfeed. And no, I don't cover up. I just whip out a boob, to be honest. And yes, I really do whip out a boob. It's just easier to whip out a boob than get covered. And to be, covering to me would make me feel more weird than not covering, if that makes any sense. Covering to me feels like, by the way, everyone is their own person. Not telling you not to cover up, not telling you that it's a problem. To me, covering up is very hot and stuffy, and I like making eye contact with my baby while I'm breastfeeding. And yeah, so that's the reason why I don't cover up, and I guess I'm not embarrassed or anything, and I don't care if anyone sees my boob because it's a boob. But everyone is their own person. Everyone has their own body. You do what you want with your body. You cover up if you want to. You do what works for you. That is just me. So no, I do not get nervous breastfeeding in public. I even walk around department stores holding a baby that is like, Indy is like this long now. He's like probably close to 3 feet long, and I'll walk around holding him and breastfeeding because I like to look at stuff. So this is a weird one. People are made of meat, so you can't really be vegan. You can only eat vegan, right? So that we're, what do we even say to that? People are made of meat. If we're made of meat, if you're a cannibal and look at people and see meat, I look at people and see like flesh because it's flesh and not meat. Meat implies, I guess, that you, that's just a really strange question. So you can't really be vegan, you can only eat vegan, right? No, you can actually be vegan. If you eat vegan, you're eating more like just being plant-based. If you are a vegan, you are doing everything in your power not to hurt other beings and aren't wearing leather or fur or wool or feathers, and you are making sure that most of the items, or not most of the items, all the items that you use are cruelty-free. So yes, you can be vegan, not only eat vegan, and you are a cannibal if you think people are meat. So I'd get some help if I were you. Where did you have all your tattoo work done, and are you still getting tattooed? I have had my tattoo work done in a ton of different places. I have artists from Australia to New Zealand to LA to Montreal to Toronto, all over my body, just different artists. I like to go to tattoo conventions once in a while, but I haven't been in like 3 years, I guess. So yeah, I have different artists all over my body. What was it? Are you still getting tattooed? No, I'm currently not getting tattooed. We have a lot of debt, to be honest, and we're trying to cut down on the debt, so I'm not currently getting tattooed. To get tattoo money, I slowly save it up, then usually dump it on the debt. And I've had friends tattoo me, so they're willing to lower their prices for me, but I never ask, they just do it. So that's how I get tattoo work done. I am working on this piece right here. So it's a woman we have a chicken right here. We have a pig and she's holding a pig, and there's a rabbit in the back, and I have lots of rabbits all over my body because I like rabbits. And yeah, so I'm currently doing that. The line work has been done. I will do the shading and the color next year, probably in the summer. I like to get tattooed in the summer. It's easier for me to travel to Toronto, and it's easy for Joseph to just bring the kids to a playground while I get tattooed for 3 hours. So that will be getting done next year. I will also be getting my hands done next year. Probably getting maybe a leg piece. I don't know, it really depends how much money I have, but I will definitely be finishing this piece next year and getting my hands tattooed, because they were supposed to get tattooed this year. It's just the summer season was really short. So I'm not currently getting tattooed. I do plan on getting tattooed, so there you go. How do you co-sleep with your baby? I have been co-sleeping with Indy since he was born. He slept on my chest for probably the first 4, maybe 5 months. Slept right on my heart. He did not like being put down next to me. He refused. He slept on my chest over my heart. And now he sleeps next to me in the bed. He can go about 3 hours until he like looks for me or freaks out because I'm not like holding him. And he actually really likes to sleep on my arm, so I usually sleep on my back or my side, and he's like, his head is right here. And Joseph, so we have two beds. One's a double and one's a queen. The double is actually going to be Indy's bed eventually when he decides to have his own room. He actually has his own room, but one day he'll want to sleep in it. So Joseph sleeps on the queen or the double, and I sleep on the queen or the double with Indy. Right now we're sleeping on the double together. I don't know. That's what's working right now. So no, I'm not really, I guess, sleeping with my husband. He just likes we sleep kind of all together, but not really. You should have like, some guys like they move a lot when they're sleeping. Joseph moves a lot, so he gets worried that he'll roll on top of Indy, though it's never ever happened. So that's why he has his own bed. He sleeps on his own bed to avoid that happening. How do you get your kids to eat vegan? Well, it's not very hard because we're all vegan, so they eat what we're eating. Indy will eat anything we give him, so we're really lucky. He'll eat absolutely anything. He just loves eating. He loves eating. So yesterday I smashed a young Thai coconut. He wanted whatever the young Thai coconut was, though he'd never had it before in his life, and he just wanted it. So he ate that. And Selkie, well, you know, like with older kids, I think, especially since she's in a situation where she goes and sees her biological father, I think it takes more explanation about why we eat vegan. So with Selkie, we've purchased some books from Ruby Roth. So it goes into depth and explains why we don't eat animals, what goes on in zoos and things like that, and why we don't wear fur and leather and things like that. And I think with older kids, it really takes some explanation. I like to point things out to her. She really likes to point things out about what she thinks is wrong. So she'll point out, like, you know, zoos and aquariums and how that's not good for the animals. And she'll point out the meat at the supermarket and yell things like dead animal to people. So she's my little activist, and it's not like I'm encouraging her to do those things. That's what she's doing naturally. And I'm not a very yelly person. I'm not gonna yell at people dead animal, but she's 4 and that's what she does. So how do you get your kids to eat vegan? Make yummy vegan food, eat it in front of them, and do it consistently, and explain to them why you are not eating dairy and meat products, and you should be good to go. Why do you dye your daughter's hair colors? Okay, so I use Manic Panic on my daughter's hair. I actually have, I think, 2 videos up now. There'll be more videos of me dyeing my daughter's hair with Manic Panic colors because there's a bunch of different colors she wants to dye her hair. I let her dye her hair with Manic Panic because she wanted to be a mermaid, and mermaid hair is cool and different colors, and Manic Panic washes out within about 8 to, I don't know, 16 washes, and it's pretty biodegradable, or it's not like totally unhealthy. And for a 4-year-old, I think you should have fun with life. I think there's a lot of uptight people out there who think that kids should only have natural hair, and I think natural hair is very pretty. I have my hair natural, and I don't know, like, I'm not gonna stop my daughter from being who she is, and it is totally fine with me if she wants to dye her hair those colors. I will buy it once in a while, not all the time, and I'll help her dye her hair, and she's really, really happy with it, and she likes to show people, and that is who she is. And I don't expect her to be like me or be like other people. And if she likes something, as long as it's within reason, I'm willing to let her do it and even help her do it. And that is the sort of person I am. If it's not hurting her and it's not hurting anyone, then we can do it. By the way, Manic Panic is vegan. So yeah, that's the reason why I dye my daughter's hair those colors. And yeah. Apparently I get a lot of hate for it. If you scroll through the comments on like those 2 videos, it's like crazy what people say to me. And actually I'm planning to do a video about what they say to me. So stay tuned for that, because I like reading comments and I don't really do it as often as I should. So I do respond once in a while to certain videos, but some videos I have to stay away from just because, like, oh my goodness, they're saying stuff that doesn't make any sense. So yeah, I hope my answers to your questions helped. If you have more questions that want answers, leave some questions for me below, and I will make another video of me answering questions for you. So please leave me questions. Leave me all the questions. I like talking to you guys, and I'm here. So yeah, let me make another Q&A video. I'd love to. So bye guys, have a great week. I will be here finishing my kombucha. You know what? I drink Rise so often. Rise, if you have anyone you know watching this, you should really send me this stuff. I'd be willing to pay for you to ship it to me by the case. And I actually contacted you guys about shipping to me by the case. I drink it so much. I would really, really like that. And look, you're in my videos. So like you're getting free at the moment, like well, not technically an ad because they didn't pay me to do this or even give me anything for free, but you're getting like placement in my videos because I drink you so much and I even mention you, so yeah. Peace, guys. Have a great week.
Tell me I belong to you.